Oh, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and we are back with your Brighton and Hove Albion preview. Leeds United travel south this weekend once again to face a Brighton side who haven't won in 7 games. A little bit of context there. They have played Manchester City, they have played Liverpool, they have played Leicester and co. So obviously you've got to put a bit of context on that, and I think that's only respectful to do so. We would do the same thing for ourselves. But injury news today, Marcelo Bielsa updated Leeds United fans and the press who were there at the time that we have some key bodies back. Jamie Shackleton, Rodrigo, Rafinha, Robin Koch and Patrick Bamford, the two on the end, are back in training. I don't know when we're going to be seeing those two at the end, to be quite honest with you. Being back on the grass and being completely separate from the rest of the group could still see those two being on the sidelines for 2 to 3, if not 3 to 4 weeks, to be quite honest with you. So it's going to be a really tough game, this one. And the reason I say that is because last season Brighton had our number completely. And really, historically, I hate doing this, but Leeds United have not had a good record at the Amex. In fact, we haven't won at the Amex at all in our history. The last time we beat Brighton, I believe, was at the Withdean Stadium. So listen, it's not a great hunting ground for Leeds United. So that can be changed this weekend. Last year we had a horrible record in Fulham. We went and beat in London. Sorry, went and beat Fulham then, which sort of eased that record. So records of theirs, they're definitely to be broken. So I am sort of enthused. I think this run of 3, I am definitely looking at this one as the game that Leeds United can pick up points. I definitely look at the Brentford game and see that as one where Leeds United can definitely pick up points from a realistic standpoint. I look at the Palace game and I think that's going to be a really, really tough game. A really, really tough game with the amount of quality that they have at their disposal and the run that they're on at this moment in time. Only lost this season to Chelsea and Manchester City. So I'm definitely looking at this game and targeting this one and the Brentford one. Not saying I'm discounting the Palace one, but I do think that'll be a really difficult task. So listen, overall, what do I expect to happen in this game? I expect Leeds United to go back to 3 at the back, which is obviously something notoriously we don't like to do. I think Brighton are going to come out with a 3-4-3 formation. We saw Potter at the game against Tottenham Hotspur at the weekend, and he definitely saw the good, the bad, and the ugly of Leeds United. But he saw how to play against Leeds. He really will have looked at exactly how Tottenham approached the game against us, and then he'll have looked at the second half where Tottenham were completely dominant, and he'll look at that and look at the intricacies of how they did that, and he will apply that. Now, listen, he doesn't massively need to apply that anyway, how Tottenham approached the game, because Brighton have beaten Leeds United twice. The returning bodies will help. Last time we played Brighton, Robin Koch was in central defensive midfield. When we were last at the Amex, I believe Rafinha didn't feature either. Tyler Roberts was in midfield. It was a very much changed Leeds United outfit. So I do feel massively enthused by the fact that players are back for this one. And I look at this game and think to myself, as I've said, Leeds need to pick something up here. Leeds have to pick something up. It can't be another defeat for me. There is a very, very realistic possibility here that Leeds United could be in the bottom 3 come January, which is nigh on near halfway through the season. That is not where you want to be. That is not where you want to be, even if you do have games coming up against Burnley and Aston Villa at home, where you would be targeting as games where Leeds are able to get the win realistically. But you do not want to be in that position. Now, realistically, when we look at it, December is, in my personal opinion, is going to be a real, you don't want to call it a write-off, but when you're going away to 3 of the top clubs in world football, if not the 3 top clubs in world football, there has to be, as I always say, a dose of realism applied to that scenario. It's going to be very unlikely that Leeds pick up any points, really. So the reason I mention that is because everything needs to be put into context. These next 3 games are absolutely huge for Leeds United to be out of that bottom 3 in general, really, because I think, as I said, the December month is going to be very, very difficult for us. So picking up as much points as we can in our next 3 games is going to be very good for momentum, good for confidence, and I think we'll see us into December, even though it's a tough run, in good stead. So How can we do that? Well, I think we've got to press them. I don't think they like to be pressed, Brighton, and I think it works in roundabouts as well because we don't like to be pressed. And when we played Brighton last time out, I think they pressed the absolute hell out of us, and then they sat back and dealt with Leeds United's offensive plan, which seemingly was to just be funneled out wide, which is what Brighton dictated, and then for our wingers to just aimlessly lump the balls into the box, which never works against the three towers at the back. That is going to be Webster, Shane Duffy, and Lewis Dunk. So Leeds need to play in and around Brighton. Leeds need to pick Brighton off through the middle. That's going to be facilitated massively by Adam Forshaw being back into the equation. And obviously Calvin Phillips being in there. I think there's been a real cohesiveness with those two. But I don't want to be looking at performances now. I don't want to be coming away and saying, well, we played well that half. We played well that game. Don't want that anymore. I want points. I want points. We need points on the board. We're less than a point per game now. And it's all well and good coming to the fore and saying this excuse, this is, we've had so-and-so out, we've had so-and-so out. We've still got this period of time to bring stuff back. It needs to happen now. Players need to really, really look at this run and what's going on with us in terms of picking up valuable points at the minute and think this is where it's got to turn. We're gonna absolutely go out there and die out there for the shirt, and concentrations levels have got to be high. Decision making's got to be high. We've got to be clinical in front of goal, and I think all of that in compass will compromise into will make Leeds United very, very difficult to beat, and I think. Yeah, there has got to be a bit of a mentality switch on all fronts, really, at the minute for me, because Leeds just have to be ruthless. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a high press from Brighton, as I've just alluded to. Trossard is a danger man. We know Neil Maupay always scores against us, so I can't feasibly see this as another game, as a game, where Leeds United keep a clean sheet. I think Brighton will score. But they also do have a lot of trouble in front of goal. So that is definitely something Leeds can work to their advantage. I'd love for a 15 to 20 minute spell where Leeds just don't go completely AWOL, where it seems to be every single game Leeds have that period where a team really, really has a chance to put Leeds to the sword, taking out Watford and Norwich in that. I mean, two newly promoted poor sides. I don't really count them when we're looking at performances, to be quite honest with you, because you should be beating Norwich and Watford. So, yeah, I think Maupay will probably get on the score sheet as he always does. He's not been playing for the last two games, and I don't know whether or not Graham Potter's done that astutely, so he knows that he's ready and fit to play against Leeds United. The team where he scores always against us. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. As I say, Trossard, very, very good ball player. I really liked McAllister as well, Alexis McAllister, when he played at Ellen Road for that Brighton side. I thought he was really good in and around the box, technically gifted. I thought he was very, very good and really worked well against that man-for-man system that Leeds United like to deploy. Another one for this weekend is going to be Tariq Lamptey, who I don't think he featured against Leeds last year. He's going to be applying the pressure from that right-hand side onto whoever's going to be playing left-back, which, if it is Junior Firpo, I would rather it not be for me. I don't think, from what I've seen with Junior, I know there's been a lot of bouts with him being out and all this sort of stuff and COVID and illness and this, that and the other. But when he's played, when he has been fully fit, just his technical capability and how he looks in the system doesn't look right to me at all right now. So I would cautiously leave him out for this one, and I would maintain Pascal Struijk. And I don't think Pascal's done anything wrong either. Or if that isn't the case, I might look at putting Stuart Dallas out there as well if we're playing the three at the back. So that's what I would look to do. I wouldn't look to put Junior in there straight away. I think he would have a torrid time against Tariq Lamptey, to be honest, with the press and how good Lamptey is generally going forward. So that's how I would look at it on that side. And I think that could be a real advantageous move from Leeds in terms of stopping Lamptey, who's going to be bombing up and down. Basuma, another one in the midfield, who it's going to be difficult to stop. He's a very, very good player, very gifted. Once again, Arsenal were touting around of 60, 70 million in the window. So, Adam Forshaw and Phillips in there for me is a really good partnership that will be able to hamper that definitely. And hopefully it's going to be more of a joined up Leeds United side than what's faced Brighton before, because it has been poor teams that have faced Brighton before. We've had key personnel out. And you look at this one, you've got Rafinha back in there, Rodrigo. Calvin Phillips. So yeah, that's hopefully going to be a positive for Leeds. Now the interesting one's going to be on Joffy. You know, in this system, is it going to be a case of him moving Rodrigo up front now into that centre forward position and leaving Joffy out? I would love to see Joffy start again, and I actually would prefer him in that central attacking role than Rodrigo. So I don't know what would happen to Rodrigo then, whether or not he'd play on the left or the right, or whether or not he'd come off the bench, because obviously you're going to be starting Calvin Phillips and Adam Forshaw in the middle if we are playing the 3-3-1-3 system. So yeah, it's a really tough one, but I don't want to see Joffy piled out of this starting 11. I think, you know, he holds the ball up arguably better than Rodrigo. I think he'd do a little bit better in and around Rafinha, which I'd love to see the partnership between those two. And I think he's got the X factor, and the X factor against a team like Brighton is going to be something which is going to only benefit Leeds United. So I'm positive about this one. I am, but I think we've got to be really cautious. But we've got to go into this not thinking to ourselves, oh, well, we never win at Brighton. Even though I've alluded to it at the start, it's not the mentality I'm going into this game thinking, you know, oh, we've lost, so we're not going to win again. You know, we never win down here. So, you know, we're not going to win this game. Leeds have to pick something up here for me. You know, we need to pick points up very, very quickly in these next 3 games before that December run. Guys, I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to go out on a 3-2 Leeds United prediction. Let me know what you guys think in the section below. As I say, some positive here, sort of noises coming from Marcelo Bielsa's press conference today, which is only going to be beneficial for Leeds. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.